How's it going, 12s? Okay, we're still continuing with annuities. We're now moving on to present value. And you guys have seen this formula already in the core maths. Just to brush over it, your P is your present value, or the amount that you are borrowing. X is your payments per period. N is the total number of payments, and I is the interest rate. Now, it's just something I want you to note when using this formula. The formula for P can only be used if there is a gap between the loan and the first payment. So you always miss that first period. Okay? Right, let's go on to an example. So example 1 is saying, and guys, I will post up the notes so you can follow from that. The first example is saying, a loan is required for the purchase of equipment. The borrower can afford to pay $2,000 per month, starting 1 month after the granting of the loan. So there's that first payment missed. The payments will continue for 10 months, and the interest rate is 24% per annum compounded monthly. How much can this person borrow? All right, so we have P equals, and that's what we're going to find out. The payments are 2,000 Rand per month. The interest rate is 24%. Compounded monthly. And then the number of payments is 10. Okay. Just take notes, I don't have to multiply that one by 10 because it's already in months or the number of payments. I'll just work out what this is, 24 over 100. Divide that by 12, and we get 1 over 50. Okay, so I'm going to use my present value formula. And we get P is equal to X, 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus N, all over I. Just substitute my values in. Uh, 1 over 150. And we get the amount that this person can borrow is 17,965 Rand and 17 cents. Okay, pretty easy. Right, going on to example 2. Example 2 is saying, how much can be borrowed now if a person agrees to repay a loan by means of quarterly payments of 7,000 Rand, starting in 3 months from now? Now, just be careful with this grade 12s. They're talking about 3 months' time. Now, if you break up the year into quarters, that will be 3-month periods, okay? Because the 12 divided by 4 gives you 3. So you have 3-month periods. So that first paying in 3 months' time is missing the first payment, okay? The payments will continue for 3 years, and the interest rate is 16% per annum compounded quarterly, okay? So we want to find out how much can they borrow. The quarterly payments is 7,000. The interest rate is 16%, and this is compounded quarterly. And the time period is 3 years. And we need to multiply that by 4 to get it into quarters. Okay, so I'm just going to work out what our I is and what our number of payments is. So 16 over 100. Divide that by 4. And we get 1 over 25. And this one will be 12. Okay, so we're going to use our present value formula. Substitute our values in. and we get a loan amount of 65,695 Rand and 52 cents. Okay, not too bad. So very similar to your core maths, but you'll see in a second with example 4 how things can change around. Okay, so example 3. It's saying here, how much money will you need to win in the lottery so as to receive equal monthly payments of 15,000 Rand per month for a period of 10 years, starting 1 month after winning the money? Assume that you are able to receive an interest rate of 15% per annum compounded monthly. So we want to work out what that lump sum would be. So P would be equal to, we don't know. They want 15,000 Rand paid every month. The interest rate is 15% compounded monthly. And the time period is 10 years, but we're going to convert that 10 years into months. All right, so let's work out what our interest rate is. 15 over 100 divided by 12, 1 over 80. And then our number of payments, 120. Okay, use our present value formula. Just substitute our values in. Punch this onto the calculator and you should get 929,742 Rand and 71 cents. So you need to win close on R1 million in order to get paid 15,000 Rand a month. All right, so grade 12 is going on to a little bit more of a trickier one now. And I'll read it out to you first and then explain what I've done here. Okay, so it goes on to say, Andrew decides to start saving money. 1 month after opening the account, he invests 2,500 Rand per month into an account paying 11% per annum, compounded monthly. At the beginning of the second year, the interest rate changes to 12%. Okay, so I just want to make a note of this. So from here to here, we have an interest rate of 11%. Okay, thereafter, it changes to 12%. Compounded monthly. Okay, so I just want to make a note, compounded monthly, compounded monthly. He takes advantage of this opportunity to make his money grow and increases his monthly payment to 3,500 Rand. The revised payments start 1 month after the interest rate change. So here's where the interest rate changed. 1 month after, he starts putting 3,500 in. The revised payments start 1 month after the interest change. How much money will he have saved at the end of the second year? So each one of these is 1 month. So it's saying for the first year, he deposited 2,500 every month. And for the first year, the interest rate was 11% compounded monthly. Thereafter, it was 12% compounded monthly. He also changed his payments amount to 3,500 after the change of the initial interest rate. And we wanted to find out how much this guy has saved. Now, what I want you to note here is from here to here, for that first year, he would have saved up some amount of money. Then from here, he changes his monthly payments. So whatever he saved up to here, the total amount for the first year, will get interest for that time period. Okay. Then his new payments will also get interest. So I'm going to break it down into two parts. I'm going to work out what the total amount was he saved, paying two and a half thousand at the end of the first year. Then I'm going to add a year's interest to that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on his additional savings of 3,500 Rand with its own interest. Okay. So this is not a present value type question. It's a future value because he's saving up the money. So grade 12, instead of writing out all of the little formulas and stuff, I'm just going to write it out one time and you'll see how I do this. So we've got the future value will be equal to, now what I'm going to consider first is this first one here. So he's paying in 2,500 Rand. Okay, and I'm using the future value formula, and we've got 1 plus, now I just want to work out what that interest rate is. So it's 11 over 100, divide that by 12, and we get 11 over 1200. So this here is 11 over 1200. This one here, I'm going to do the same. So this would be 12. Which should just give us 1 over 100. Okay. Okay, so my interest here is 11 over 1200. My time period for that is 12. Minus 1. All over the interest, which is 11 over 1200. Okay, so that is my future value or my savings for the first year of paying 2,500 Rand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this value, this total value, which is at this point, and I'm going to add a year's worth of interest. So I'm now going to multiply this by 1 plus, and now this is going to be my new interest rate, which is this. Because from here to here, it's getting an interest of 1 over 100. And that has been compounded for 12 months. So this is my A is equal to P plus 1, A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N. Okay. So that's for my 2,500 Rand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the payments of the 3,500 using the future value. So that will be 3,500, 1 plus my new interest rate, 1 over 100, to the power of, and that's going for 12 payments, minus 1, all over 1 over 100. Okay. Punch this onto the calculator and you get a future value of 79,951 Rand. Okay, so I just want to make a note here. This is my A is equal to P, 1 plus I to the N. That's what I did there. This is the future value formula, and this is the future value formula for that one. Okay, thanks, grade 12.